Hello. Ready to build your vocabulary up? Are you willing to learn some new words, such as interminable, hectic, cuddly, and many, many more? Stay with us and join the game. First, let's learn the words that can help us describe how people do some things. Inadvertently? Inadvertently means accidentally, without focusing the mind on a matter, without intention. Indiscriminately? In a random or careless way, not marked by careful or intentional distinction. Conscientiously? If someone does something conscientiously, they do it in a meticulous, thorough way, showing extreme care about minute details. Apprehensively? If someone does something apprehensively, they do it in an anxious or fearful way as if something bad or unpleasant will happen. Conversely? You use the word conversely in a sentence to indicate that the situation you are about to mention is opposite or reverse of the one you have just described. Tentatively? Tentatively means doing something with uncertainty, in a way that lacks confidence, hesitantly. Slavishly? In a servile or submissive manner, also copying or imitating something or someone exactly, lacking originality. Invariably, always, on every occasion. Arbitrarily. Choice made randomly, based on a subjective and personal perception, rather than on any reason or system. Now, let's do one exercise. You should replace the phrases in italics in each sentence with an adverb from the box. You may need to change the word order of the sentence like in a given example. Read the sentences carefully, pause the video if necessary and think about the possible options. First part. Without realizing what he had done, André threw the whole office block into darkness when he went to change a fuse. André inadvertently threw the whole office block when he went to change a fuse. Weapons of mass destruction kill without any regard for whose side you're on. Weapons of mass destruction kill indiscriminately. Susan always works with great care and attention. Susan always works conscientiously. Tom cried loudly without any control. Tom cried hysterically. They work with great effort and energy for Greenpeace. They work tirelessly for Greenpeace. The chairman spoke with such conviction on the subject of poverty. The chairman spoke convincingly on the subject of poverty. I told you in great detail and with precision what we expected you to wear for this photo shoot. I told you explicitly what we expected you to wear for this photo shoot. Amy's last essay was better, with many obvious improvements. Amy's last essay was considerably better. Within the second part, you should do the same. Through formation of the sentences you improve your production skills and learn how to express yourself better. Our son starts an argument without fail when he can't borrow the car. Our son invariably starts an argument when he can't borrow the car. Although they chose people for the interviews without thinking about it very carefully, their choices were perfect. Although they chose people for the interviews arbitrarily, their choices were perfect. He speaks to people with such anger that everyone in time ignores him. He speaks to people so aggressively that everyone eventually ignores him. She walked into the interview room with a certain amount of fear. She walked apprehensively into the interview room. The presentation went on without end. The presentation went on interminably. He walked into the deal without any understanding of the problems he would have. He walked into the deal blindly. How many people do you see completely imitating a catwalk look? How many people do you see slavishly copying a catwalk look? As our guides unwillingly admitted, only the strongest would make it to the top of the mountain. As our guides reluctantly admitted, only the strongest would make it to the top of the mountain. I suggested hesitantly and with great uncertainty that she might be happier working somewhere else. I tentatively suggested that she might be happier working somewhere else. In real life, nobody was all failure, nor opposite, all successful. In real life, nobody was all failure nor conversely, all successful. Congratulations! You've learned a lot. You're a very hardworking student. If you've rested a little bit, let's move on. Before we do the next exercise, let's revise some of the meanings of the limit adjectives. Limit adjectives are the adjectives that modify a noun or pronoun by restricting it rather than describing the qualities or traits of it. Filthy. Extremely or unpleasantly dirty. Livid. Furiously or extremely angry. Ecstatic. Feeling or expressing overwhelming happiness or joyful excitement. Hilarious. Very funny and causing a lot of laughter. Minute. Extremely small, tiny. Exhausted. Depleted of energy, very tired. Crucial. Very important or necessary. Convinced. Persuaded. Appalled. Affected by strong feelings of shock and dismay. Interminable. Having or seeming to have no end and therefore boring or annoying. Hectic. Full of activity, or very busy, fast and confusing. And in the end, deafening. Very loud and noticeable. Annie and Amy are talking to their mother about their holiday. Read the conversation and complete it with the limit adjectives given on each page that Amy uses to strengthen the adjectives and phrases that Annie uses. Hi. How was your holiday? It was excellent. Though the first day wasn't too good. It was disastrous. Oh dear. Why? Well, first of all, the flight was quite long. It was interminable. So when we arrived at the hotel it was midnight and we were rather tired. We were exhausted. Then we found that our room hadn't been cleaned very well. It was filthy. Well, we both think it's important to have a clean room. It's crucial. Anyway, Amy was a bit angry about that. I was livid. So they gave us another room, which was clean. The only problem was that it was right next to the kitchen, so we were woken up at 6 a.m. with the noise of clattering pots and pans. It was deafening. And when we got up we found that the water in the shower wasn't terribly hot. It was freezing. Anyway, we got up and went down to breakfast feeling really hungry. But all they could give us was a cup of coffee and a small croissant. A minute croissant, to be precise. So after breakfast we asked to see the manager, and we told him that we weren't very happy with the hotel. That we were disgusted, in fact. Well, he said nobody else had complained, so he suggested we were being too fussy. Well, we were a bit shocked by his attitude. We were appalled. And we said we'd find another hotel. He then said that all the other hotels in town were full. Well, we were fairly sure he was lying. We were convinced of it. After 2 hours and no luck we thought maybe he had been telling the truth. But then we found a small hotel in the old part of town, and when they said they did have a room we were pretty happy. We were ecstatic. especially because the room was clean and quiet and the people there were really friendly. The manager himself was quite amusing. He was hilarious. And although the hotel was always quite busy, it was hectic. He always had time to talk. He told us some quite interesting stories about his life. They were fascinating. We had a fabulous time there. And finally, the last part of this lesson. Let's learn some of the words with which we could describe our senses. Mouldy, covered with mold, a soft, green or gray growth that develops on old food or on objects that have been left for too long in warm, wet air. Cuddly, willing to cuddle, to put your arms around someone and hold them, showing affection and love. Drab, boring, lacking vibrant color and excitement. Glimpse, to look briefly. Glinting, reflecting tiny quick flashes of light, sparkling, glistening. Musty, having a stale, moldy or damp smell. Rancid, an unpleasant taste or smell of food that has gone bad and old. Stench, a strong and very unpleasant smell. Squeaky, making a very high, short, shrill sound. Stirring, something that makes people very happy, excited, or enthusiastic. Pungent, smelling or tasting very strong and sharp. Fragrant, having a sweet or pleasant smell. In this last comprehension exercise, you should complete the sentences with one of the given words. Read the sentences first, think about the options, and then check. Pause if necessary. This gold medal is for you. You deserved it for your hard work. Continue improving your knowledge. Have a nice day.